And for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, October 27th, 2014. The roll will show that all members are present. Mr. Chair and Council, it is necessary to amend our agenda tonight. First being that we have resubmitted to you corrected minutes under item 2A, and that's for the regular meeting held October 13th, 2014. And also, we're going to strike item number 5D, and that's under the mayor's report. Therefore, the amended agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda, 2, minutes, 3, petitioner, 4, chairperson's report, 5, mayor's report, 6A, clerk's report, 7B, treasurer's report, 7, public comment, 8, unfinished business, 9, new business, 10, communication, 11, warrant 14-20, and number 12, adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the amended agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Choate, for approval of the amended agenda as presented. Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth. Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Crouch.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Amended agenda is approved.
Number 2, for approval are the corrected minutes from the regular council meeting held October 13th, 2014.
Move for October 13th, 2014, and these are the corrected minutes.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for the approval of the corrected minutes from the regular council meeting held October 13th, 2014. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Mr. Crouch.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
2B, for approval are the minutes from the special meeting held October 13th, 2014 at 7:15 p.m. This was a study session regarding creation of a special revenue fund.
So moved to accept the minutes from the special council meeting.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Crouch, for approval of the special meeting. Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Mr. Crouch.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Number 3 is petitioner. And tonight, Mr. Chair and Council, we have 2 representatives from the ZYNP International Corporation, and they are here this evening to request a tax exemption certificate, and we will have Justin Holmes and Frank Young, if you can come to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Justin Holmes, and I will be representing Frank Young of ZYMP International Corporation. Some general information about ZYMP International Corporation. They are a Tier 1 automotive supplier with contracts with major North American OEMs. ZYMP's current customers include Ford, General Motors, Cummins, Daimler, and Navistar. ZYMP is a global leader in diesel and gasoline engine cylinder liners and an innovator in power cylinder units. ZYMP also provides end-to-end supply chain management for Tier 2 suppliers, including manufacturing, operations, logistics, procurement, sourcing, and warehousing. ZYMP occupies 260,000 square feet at a building located at 27501 Hillbrant in Romulus, Michigan, that will house its North American headquarters and its Advanced Research and Development Center. This facility will also perform engineering, manufacturing, assembly, warehousing, and distribution functions. At this stage, ZYMP plans to invest $13 million in improvements to the building and equipment for manufacturing, as well as research and development. ZYMP is also currently developing a new line of piston rings with North American OEMs. This expansion will include production lines for coating and finish manufacturing of diesel and gasoline piston rings. In total, ZYMP and its related entities will plan to invest over $35 million within the city of Romulus. ZYMP's expansion and investment will bring over 150 new jobs to the city of Romulus, with roughly 100 jobs coming in 2 years. Thank you.
Yes. What I'd like to say is, I really like the part where you said, well, we're having 150 more new jobs that's coming to Romulus.
That's correct.
It's always a good thing to have jobs coming to your community, and we really appreciate the staying power that you have shown Romulus over the years. So we really appreciate it. Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, if I could just make a comment and thank Tim Keys and our team who've worked with this petitioner, and thank the petitioner for their willingness to stay in Romulus. They had another location, as you're aware, 2 action up tonight, but they're going to be moving from Ecorse to Hildebrandt, and their business is growing, and it's a good thing that they're working with the city of Romulus to continue to grow that business so we can do just that, provide more jobs. So thank you very much for your willingness to stay here. Thanks.
Thank you.
And if I could just add, they're actually staying at the Ecorse Road building. They're expanding.
Correct.
Over into the Hildebrandt building.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Mr. Barton, are you
Yes,
looking
Mr.
for us to take action now or under the clerk's report?
We can take it now under this report here, Mr. Wadsworth.
All right, I'll do 3A for the Internet National Corporation request for an industrial facility tax exemption certificate new in the amount of 12 years, and I'd like to expand on it if I get support.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, for ZYNP International Corporation request for an industrial facility tax exemption certificate for 12 years. Any discussion?
If I could, where I'm doing is based on certain criteria that this manufacturer met. He's not a Johnny-come-lately that he just walked in the front door. He's had businesses on Ecorse Road, and he's expanding over on Hildebrandt, and it's based on a point system, and then that's where we come up with the amount.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. Any other comments? Roll call. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms.
I
Makowski.
make the motion that we provide the transfer for the existing industrial facilities tax exemption certificate that the ZYNP International has requested.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for ZYNP International Corporation request for industrial facilities tax exemption certificate transfer. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have a couple of things on my report. The first one is there's a business in Romulus. It's called King's Barbecue, and it's on Van Born and Wayne Road, and they seem to have some pretty good food. I didn't know they was in town until I passed by there and went in, and I welcomed, the city of Romulus. And here's some of the things that they serve. Dinners, they serve barbecue, they serve fried fish, all different types of fried fish, all kind of sides, chicken and salads, turkeys, fried turkeys, just about everything that you can think of to eat, they serve. The hours are Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Saturday from 11 to 11, and Sunday from 11 to 6 p.m. I always a firm believer in supporting our businesses throughout Romulus, and I'm sure that you will enjoy the food if you give them a play. The next item I have on my report is please join us, lights on after school. It's the Eastern Michigan University Bright Futures Youth Programming Showcase. And I'm gonna read some of the literature I have here. It says, join Eastern Michigan University Bright Future programs at Romulus Middle School and Romulus High School and the after-school alliances to celebrate the importance of after-school programs on October the 30th, 2014. In communities today, 15.1 million children take care of themselves after the school day ends. After-school programs keep kids safe, help working families, and inspire learning. Join us along with 7,500 plus after-school programs nationwide in celebrating our after-school programs. And then it says who, what, when, and where. Who is you and fellow members of the community. What? Youth performances, club showcases, games, cider and donuts. When? And this is October the 30th, this Thursday. It starts 4:30 and it only goes to 5:30 p.m. It's at the Romulus High School. They really would like to see all residents participate and come out to this affair.
John, if I may.
Yes. And
I just want to reiterate, that's a great program for after school. It is a showcase because they want people to know exactly what they're doing, and they're trying to get more people to send their kids there. So if you have any questions, that's where you should be on the 30th. It's a great place, they have wonderful clubs, and it keeps the kids busy.
Thank you, Ms. Abigail. At this time, I'd like to, I can't bring up, oh, you had some, Mr. Wadsworth?
I wanted to, I don't know when we were gonna fit this in tonight, but you know, in the last 10 days, we've lost 3 of our past elected officials.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk about it then. Okay, fine.
I'd like to bring up Ms. Conway, Lynn Conway. She'd like to, our purchasing director, like to speak on the proposals.
Evening, council, mayor, clerk. Not only am I an employee of the city, but I've been a resident since 1975. I'm also on the committee supporting the Romulus Charter revisions. As a part of that, we as a committee are supporting the passing of the 2 proposals that are appearing on a ballot next week. It's proposals 13.1 and 13.2. These proposals affect our purchasing process here at the city. They will not increase any of our residents' taxes. They will reduce our advertising expenses. They will save tax dollars. They'll increase our spending, our purchasing efficiency. They will expand our competitive bidding process. This action is a huge cost saver for the city. It won't cost our residents anything. It will move us into being able to process bids much more efficiently. It won't be a duplication of any processes. It will allow us to make purchases under bids that are existing, that have been let by other government agencies across the state. So I appreciate all of the elected officials that have endorsed the passing of this. Every single elected official in the city has endorsed the passing of these 2 proposals. So I implore everybody to get out and vote next week on Tuesday. It's important to the city to move ourselves to move ourselves forward in our purchasing process. So I want to thank council. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Barden, for letting me speak this evening.
You're welcome, Ms. Conway. Okay, I have Ms. Sayah, the recognized councilwoman. Roscoe.
Yes, I'd like to ask for, we've got a request from Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Kraus for a half-hour study session on Monday, November 3rd, 2014, to discuss local community support plan. And I would like to make a motion that we have that study session.
Support.
Been motion, was that by?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Been motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Choke for study session for Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Crowe for November 3rd. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choke?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Just a question, what time? What time on that day? Was there a time?
There is not a time on
Not,
that.
Okay, well, I'll just vote yes and we'll get a time.
we'll do before we get there. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes,
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Yes, I just wanted to speak on Ms. Conway's comments. I think it's important people realize that these two amendments will not increase your taxes. That's the number one thing people are going to ask. And also, it's going to help the efficiency of the city. I know she said that, but I just wanted to reiterate that. It'll reduce the city's advertising expense, and it increases efficiency for buying and selling. And I would hope that people would come out and support this.
And then while we're
Thank
at
you.
it, could I just add one more thing
Sure.
with that? Well, first of all, make sure and get out there and vote. Your vote's very important. I'm supporting this not only for those reasons mentioned, but also too, this doesn't mean that we wouldn't competitive bid. Competitive bidding will still happen, the sealed bids as required, et cetera. It's just, we're making ourselves get closer into the 2000s. When the charter was first developed, there was no internet. So this way we can leverage on all these opportunities out there.
right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Barden, if I could just piggyback on my two colleagues, it's a very positive financial thing for our town.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. With that concludes the chairman's report.
So moved to accept the chairman's report.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. Thank you.
And number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, council, clerk, and audience. Tonight in my report, I start off with a quote that ties into some action I'm going to ask of you, but this was from Colin Powell, and it goes as this: "Great leaders are almost always great simplifiers who can cut through argument, debate, and doubt to offer solutions to everybody that they can understand." I picked that quote because we do have some past leaders. We have some great leaders now. We have some great leaders that we've lost. And I know the first one, Mr. Wadsworth asked to make the motion, and I would ask that he make a resolution officially, a memorial resolution for the family of Beverly McAnally.
So moved.
Support.
And under discussion, family, everyone knows she was a longtime resident of Romulus, spent involved in the schools, the city, at different levels from council to treasurer to mayor. The family did have a quiet private service, and what I was told is that they will be, they're trying to plan a more public memorial or celebration of her life. They're tentatively looking at November 22nd, something at Progressive, but we'll get you more details on that. At that point in time, we will be recognizing, we'd like to recognize, if the family would allow us to lower the flags and give proper respect to the former mayor. So just want to make sure we pass it on, and once we get the details, we'll let council be aware of that. Thank you.
Yes,
If
Mr.
I could
Wadsworth?
expand on Beverly. There were really, in my last 31 years, there were 3 people that really influenced me up here. And I've said it quite a lot. It was Mary Ann Banks, it was Bill Oakley, and it was Beverly McAnally. And the last of the 3 is finally left the building. And she was my friend, a good friend. And I didn't, you know, we always didn't agree, but when we left the building, I considered her my friend. She was at my parents' funeral. She was at my son's weddings, and I'm gonna miss you, Beverly.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. I also like to say, speak on Ms. McAnally, that she's very instrumental in, when we first bidded on, the Barton Cablevision first bidded on the Romulus franchise, she was very supportive of giving a small company a chance to grow. And that was her legacy, to help people, and she will be really missed in this community. She was a leader, like the mayor said, and she also was a friend of everyone. So our condolences go to her family, and we're really going to miss her.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, Kyle.
I only knew Mrs. McAnally from the library, Friends of the Library and the book club. And you guys sounded very serious, but I'm telling you, we had a great time with that woman. She said some pretty outrageous things. So I always enjoyed that about Mrs. McAnally. So take care, Bev. Keep it going.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Roscoe.
I just want to give my heartfelt sympathy out to all the McAnally family, to Danny and all his family. I've known Bev since I've been in kindergarten. I started kindergarten with her son Danny, and her and my mom were PTA moms and hot lunch moms and everything. And you know, that's usually where it starts. You know, it starts when you get out there and you start working with your kids and in the schools and where have you. And she was a very strong woman in this community, and she is going to be missed by many.
Thank you, Mr.
I just ask you to continue to keep the family in your prayers. It's, even though she had a long illness, it's still very, very, very tough. And we'll keep you posted on the memorial.
Okay, thank you. Roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, Council. The next one, also like to, is part of our Romulus family, and that's ask for memorial resolution for the family of Lois Cadu, which is Roger's mother. They had services for her last week. Again, long, fabulous life, but lost her battle last week, and keep Roger and his family in your prayers, and if Council would do a resolution for the family as well.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Kraut, for memorial resolution for Ms. Lois M. Cadu. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have some discussion. You know, Roger, he had some very simple words about his mother. And what I loved about his message at the funeral was that a lot of people went to some pretty elaborate places in their life. They traveled, and the way Roger described his mother and his father is that they made everything special in a different way. They might have gone across the world. They might have gone to the UP camping. They might have gone other places. But as kids growing up, he and his sister, he and I knew both his parents very well. They made a special life for Roger, and you can see it reflect in what he does, and some of the family members that spoke. Just a fantastic lady. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Roll call. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, Council. I have another one. Again, unfortunately, last week we lost Junior Block. Junior was a longtime Romulus person, involved again at many levels, had a business here, was a council person, had a long, productive life. A lot of us know the Block family, but he did lose his battle last week. We did recognize him. We did have flags lowered for the family as well. But to do the official resolution, I'm asking council adopt that memorial resolution, please.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for memorial resolution for Mr. Block.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for a memorial resolution for Mr. Block. Any discussion?
Just a quick comment. I was fortunate enough to sit here for my first 12 years with Junior, and I remember my first campaign of 1983 down at Merriman School. As I was passing out my stuff, he took my stuff, and the person that was passing out his Big Apples passed out my stuff with him. And I remember I got the last seat, and he told me, if I wouldn't have passed them apples out, son, you wouldn't be sitting there. He told me. And he never let me forget it. He told me that forever and ever. In fact, but you know, he was a strong man. We always didn't agree, but we were friends.
Thank you. Roll call. Ms. Cho?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. I did also get an update that I got a message on that McAnally event on the 22nd. It's going to be from 6 to 11 p.m. at Progressive Hall. So mark your calendars, and we'll help get the word out for that. The last request, I'd like to actually defer to our clerk, Ellen Bragg, if I could, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Okay.
Mr. Chair and Council, as you know, we lost another former public official, and that was Ray Cantrell. And so I would ask that if council would adopt a memorial resolution in honor of Ray Cantrell.
So moved.
Support.
Under discussion, I just would like to say that Mr. Cantrell served one term on, as a city clerk. He also was an employee of the city of Romulus, and his wife Betty worked for the school for a number of years. Everyone loved the family and very active in our community, and it's a tragic loss, and I just ask that everyone will continue to remember their children at this time. In your prayers, thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Pardon.
Yes,
Also,
Mr. Wadsworth.
if I can comment on this one too, going back to my first campaign in 1983, where he was the clerk, and I went downstairs and he gave me the packet and he showed me what to do. But other than that, we were friends with our kids since about the 1970s to 71s. Our kids played hockey together. They went to Merriman School. They went to high school together, and he was a friend.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. I also like to say that Mr. Cantrell, all I can say, he was a very outstanding gentleman, just nice to everyone and a fair person. I think I met him through my brother maybe about 10, 15 years ago. And he always was a person that took everything, you know, seriously and tried to do the best he could for his friends and community. Any other comments?
No, just that we'll also be respecting his family as a past elected and having DPW lower the flags for the family. There's a visitation this Wednesday, I understand. I think it's in the afternoon at Crane, so.
Okay. Thank you. Roll call. First of all, it's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Cho, for a memorial resolution for Raymond Cantrell Jr. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Cho?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. Just a couple other quick comments, and I'll get into my business report. Obviously, this Friday is Halloween, so I ask that, we just look out for the little ones that are out trick-or-treating, try to have a safe holiday and be careful. We also have Saturday, we have the Boo to Cancer fundraiser. Just want to put a plug in for it one last time. This is going to be at 7 p.m. till midnight at Romulus Progressive Hall, 11580 Osgood Road. Costume-related Halloween party. There's a minimum donation of $20. There'll be food, snacks, refreshments, souvenirs. This is all the proceeds of this are going to help one of our employees who's off fighting cancer. That's where the Boo to Cancer thing comes from. Debbie DeMoisey, who worked at DPW and is off battling this awful disease. So if you want to come out, celebrate, have a nice fun time, and do something nice to help somebody, that's this Saturday the 1st. Now under my official business report, if we could jump into it, first one up is 5A. What you have before you is a request in compliance with the Michigan compiled law and Romulus Council resolution to concur with the administration and reappoint Jan Lemon to our City of Romulus Cemetery Board of Trustees with a 5-year term to expire November 1st of 2019.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I'll make that motion to support the reappointment of Jan Lemon to the City of Romulus Cemetery Board of Trustees with a 5-year term to expire November 1st, 2019.
Support that.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Choate, for reappointment of Jan Lemon to the City of Romulus Cemetery Board. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, just want to thank Jan for her prior service on the board, as well as all the board members. I don't know if the residents realize that they donate their time. They donate a lot of time. They're out doing clean sweeps. They're out working with VFWs to get improvements made. They're out there getting trees planted. They're very passionate about improving the quality of our historic cemetery, and a big shout out to all of them, but especially to Jan for leading that charge. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, if I may also, I would, if I had, no, I can't do it in one word, but 2 words, fearless leadership. And maybe unstoppable, that's the one word. So I just want to thank Jan too. I mean, you've done a great job, you and the team, and you make a difference, and thank you very much. We're glad to have you for another 5 years.
And I'd like to say, Jan, that I remember when you first took over, and I said, here comes Jan again. Coming up to the podium. I said, uh-oh. Something got to be done. So, Jan, great job to you and the members of your leadership team. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Ms. Choate.
Ms. Lemon is so passionate about the cemetery board, and she's in the cemetery almost every day. There may be, I suppose if there's a blizzard, a snow blizzard, or if there's a tornado going on, she might not be there, but otherwise, she's there, and she's looking after things.
Just to confirm, there was a big storm, and she was there this year. She called me, a branch came down. She was even there when we had the horrific windstorm, so.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes.
I think it would be remiss of me if I did not say anything as the cemetery sexton, and I want to thank Mrs. Lemon. We don't always agree eye to eye, but all of her efforts and all of the energy and the time that she puts in to the cemetery, it's paid off. The cemetery looks beautiful. I think Sylvia summed it up well. She's that fearless leader, unstoppable, and if it's something she wants, by golly, she's going to get it, and she's not going to stop. But it's in a good way, and I really mean that in a good way. And she has a vision for the cemetery, and it's all good. It's a and you can really see the fruits of her labor. So, thank you, Mrs. Lemon, and to the board.
Thank you.
And Mr. Barton, one other comment. She asked me today if I would go up on a flagpole and paint it, but I'm not going to go up. But if anybody out there wants to help her paint that flagpole, please contact her. Jan, I know it's hard to get people to do stuff for free. I know it firsthand. But if I would have had you 10, 11 years ago, I'd have had my shelter built probably in 3 years.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Choate. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is 5B, and it's just a request to authorize mayor and clerk to enter into the attached intergovernmental agreement with the Wayne County for the Goddard Road County portion match of that Wayne Road intersection.
I'll move, Mr. Chairman, for the interdepartmental agreement with Wayne County for Goddard Road and Wayne Road intersection.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached intergovernmental agreement with Wayne County for the Goddard Road County match for the Wayne Road intersection. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is 5C, and it's a request to approve bid 14/15-01 for a change order number 1, additional concrete road repairs. This is for the Brant Street for the successful bidder of Forey Enterprises at $81,372.55.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate.
I'd like to adopt a resolution that, excuse me, that bid 141501, change order number 1 for additional concrete road repair to Brant Street by a successful bidder, Fiore Enterprises, in the amount of $81,372.55.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Crowd, for bid 14/15-01, change order number 1 for additional concrete road repairs to Branch Street by the successful bidder, Forey Enterprises, in the amount of $81,372.55. Any discussion?
And that was to award that bid.
Roll call vote. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Crowd?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. We deleted 5D, so 5E is a request to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a 3-year contract extension for professional services, and this is with Ritter GIS. The amount's $46,080 per year, and that's actually down from previously $75,000 a year that we used to pay them.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes, Ms. Makowski.
I move that we extend this service agreement, which, of course, the scope of the services have been reduced, and the outsourcing has been brought back to DPW, and there have been corresponding cost reductions. Take a breath. That's what I move.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a 3-year contract extension for professional services with Greater GIS in the amount of $46,080 per year. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Crowd?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next one up is 5F. The request here is to approve the reappointment of Dean Trudeau and Larry Williams to the Tax Increment Finance Authority, terms to expire November 30th of 2018.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I'd like to make that motion to approve the reappointment of Dean Trudeau and Larry Williams to the Tax Increment Finance Authority, with terms to expire on November 30th, 2018.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Crowd, for the reappointment to the TIFA Board. As names mentioned by Councilwoman Abdo. Roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Crowd?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. And the last item up is 5G. What you have before you is introduction of budget amendment 14/15-9. That's for allocation of funds to proceed with the fire department fleet upgrades. Funds have been realized through the sale of older fire apparatus and equipment, already budgeted funds, and grant match funds. Funds will be used to refurbish 2 rescue vehicles that are over 10 years old. And if you recall, this is where we were selling off some stuff and kind of cleaning up the fleet, and now we're trying to reinvest them into the current rescue units.
So move, Mr. Chairman, for introduction of budget amendment 14/15-9 for the motor vehicle fund to refurbish 2 rescue vehicles,
Support.
10 years old.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Makowski, to introduce budget amendment 14/15-9 for allocation of funds to proceed with the fire department fleet upgrades. Funds have been realized through sale of older fire apparatus and equipment, already budgeted funds, and grant match funds. Funds will be used to refurbish 2 rescue vehicles that are over 10 years old. In discussion. Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Crowd?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes my report.
Thank you.
6A is the clerk's report. Under 6A1, for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1314-22. This is to transfer the Wayne Disposable Inc. Fees for a designated use into a special revenue fund in the fiscal year 2013-14 in the amount of $50,000. This is under Council Resolution 14-085, and this amendment was introduced at the council meeting of October 13th, 2014.
So move for second reading and final adoption.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for second reading and final adoption of a budget amendment 13/14-22 to transfer WDI's fees for a designated use. Roll call vote. Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Crowe.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
6A2 for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1415-5, and this is to recognize Sunoco Pipeline's donation to the fire department to cover community events, including but not exclusive to the Pumpkin Festival, in the amount of $2,000. This budget amendment was introduced at the council meeting of October 13th, 2014.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I'll make that motion for second reading and final adoption for Budget Amendment 14/15-5 to recognize Sunoco Pipeline's donation to the fire department to cover community events, including but not exclusive to the Pumpkin Festival, in the amount of $2,000.
Support. I'll support that.
Motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Choate, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 1415-5, donation to the fire department from Sunoco for community events as described by Councilwoman Abdo. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Mr. Crowe.
Yes.
Makowski.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Under 6A3, for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1415-7, and this is to recognize Marathon Petroleum's First Responder Grant Award to the Fire Department for the purchase of new personal protective gear, and this is in the amount of $5,000. And this budget amendment was introduced at the council meeting of October 13th, 2014.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make that motion for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 1415-7 to recognize Marathon Petroleum's First Responder Grant Award to the Fire Department.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 1415-7 to recognize Marathon Petroleum First Respondent Grant Award to the Fire Department. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Crowe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
6A4 for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1415-8, and this is to transfer the unused fiscal year 2013-14 balance of Wayne Disposal Incorporated's fees for a designated use. This was under Council Resolution 14-085 to transfer it into fiscal year 2014-15 in the amount of $44,554. This amendment was introduced at the council meeting of October 13th, 2014.
So move for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 14/15-8.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 1415-8. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Crowe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
6A5, the Executive Advisory Commission met on October 13th and is recommending that the following individuals be appointed to the Board of Review. They are as follows: Deborah Hoffman, for her term to commence January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2016, and to appoint Shirley Lamberson, and for her term to commence January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2016, and a motion would be in order to accept those appointments.
So move, Mr. Chairman, to appoint Deborah Hoffman and Shirley Lamberson for
Support.
the times that were set.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for the appointments of Debbie Hoffman and Shirley Lamberson to the Board of Review. In discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A6, Financial Director Suzanne Moreno is asking council to adopt a resolution to amend Resolution 11-225 to read as follows: to authorize the Director of Financial Services. This is to indicate the City of Romulus's intent to assign fund balance for a specific purpose for financial reporting purposes. The resolution was approved in accordance with the Government Accounting Standards Board Statement Number 54. The only change to the resolution is to delete the proper name of the Director of Financial Services, so that whomever is in that position, that they're able to carry out that function of the job without having to amend the resolution again.
Okay,
And also, this suggestion was recommended by our city auditors.
thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Ms.
I move
Makowski?
that we amend resolution number 11-225, the area of authorization to assign the fund balance to include the director's title rather than the director's name.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Choate, for amend resolution number 11-225, authorization to assign the fund balance names. Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Before I conclude my report, if I can, I just have a quick announcement, and that's just, really just to remind everyone about next week is Election Day, and I think it's already been stated earlier by Ms. Conway. Tuesday, November 4th, polls open at 7, close at 8. But also, the clerk's office will be open this Saturday, November 4th, from 8 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. So for those who are wishing to request an absentee ballot, may do so at that time. They can come in, but that is the last day that we could actually mail out a ballot. After 2 p.m. on Saturday, those wishing to request an absentee ballot will have to come into the clerk's office and vote it there at the clerk's office, and they will have until 4 o'clock p.m. on Monday. That would be the last opportunity to request an absentee ballot.
Okay,
That concludes my report. Our city treasurer is under the weather, so let's keep her in our thoughts. Number 7 is public comment, and this is a portion of our meeting where those in the audience have an opportunity to address council with your comments. If you would like to address council, raise your hand after you've been acknowledged by the chairperson. We ask after approaching the podium that you would state your name, your address, and that you would please limit your comments to 3 minutes. We do not have any written requests.
okay. Anyone in the audience? Yes.
Virginia Williams. Good evening to the mayor, council, clerk, and assistant deputy. I'm here tonight. After the incident on Beverly Road, it really stuck with me. We as adults tell our children all the time what we should be doing, what they should be doing, what they should not be doing. A lot of times they see us not doing the right things. So I decided to start trying to, an effort to educate our young, and not just our young, some older citizens don't even know the law. So on October the 30th, this Thursday, I will be hosting an expungement workshop, 35765 North Line Road at the Rec Center. Doors open at 6 and it ends at 8. It is so very important that the residents of this state, not just this city, know what's in jeopardy and why it's so important for us to vote. Human rights, civil rights, voting rights, jobs, minimum wage increase delays, affordable health care, no public assistance, Section 8 housing, more public schools closing, more foreclosures, Head Start, food stamp, the WIC program, which is for women, infants, and children, higher food prices, low income home energy credit, higher property tax, higher utility rates, higher insurance rate, Pell Grant, earned income and child care credit, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security income supplement. We must get out and vote. We as a people must stop sitting around the kitchen table and in our living rooms and complaining. We have to get out and vote and let our voices be heard. Thank you so much.
Yes, Ms. Lemon.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Clerk. Thank you very much for everything you said. In 2009, when I started this little task that I undertook, I had the full support of my husband, or I never would have started. And Bob, if you think I'm bad now, you should have been here for the former mayor. Leroy helped me out many times. Everything that has been done in that cemetery has been done with compassion. We have tried to treat every grave site as if it was our own loved one. I do not mean to complain. I mean to get things done. And the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Tim and I, over the past 4 years, have tried very hard not to use the word neglect, but the cemetery was neglected for a very long time. Craig Plank, he's ill now, and he is not able to help us as much as he did, but he went in there and unearthed monuments that have been hidden for decades. Now there's flowers at these grave sites. I understand the Porter family was in town this week. Out there at the big Porter monument, as you make the turn, there's poinsettias. They tried to dig up somebody's gravesite, but they didn't know how to get it completed. This week I will find out who their grave is, because it must be important to that Porter family. I enjoy everything I do. My board goes along with what we want to get done, and we all work together. And I thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other comments? Okay, we'll close that part out.
Number 8 is unfinished business. Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Ms. Abdo?
Yes, I just wanted to say, I noticed as I pulled into Romulus High School last week that the Charlie Lau sign has been replaced. It was in very bad shape, and it actually looks wonderful. And I want to thank the people at DPW who built the frame and the sign. It really looks nice.
Thank you. Mr.
If I
Bosworth?
could, and I'll go to the mayor through the, Roberto back there. Is it possible before the snow falls that we could reevaluate and take a look at Cogswell, Wade, Superior, and Barth, because the school buses are still taking chunks out of the road, and something should be done before before the snow flies. Please, okay.
Okay.
If there's no more unfinished business, then number 9 is new business. Number 10, communication.
Ms.
I just have one thing. I just want to comment on the fundraiser that the mayor talked about underneath his report for Debbie DeMoisy and Boo Against Cancer. So many of us know so many people that are fighting cancer right now, or have lost loved ones, or, or have people in remission, or, whatever. But it's a very good cause, and one thing about it is, it's not just for someone who is an employee here of the city or anything, but Debbie has gone far and beyond helping anybody and everybody that she's come in contact with, and she's always the first one to, sell tickets, collect things. She worked with the athletic boosters way before, after her kids were gone, and Little League programs, and the Pumpkin Festival, and Goodfellows, and I could just go on and on and on and on and on. Debbie's always there first and always leaves last. And, she was out for the Pumpkin Festival for just a little bit, and I know that was really hard for her not to be able to be there working and being there the whole time. But I just want to encourage everyone to come out. If you can't come out and you can help in any way, you can get a hold of the treasurer's office. Stacy is kind of chairing that, or get a hold of Ellen down in the clerk's office. They can help you help. And that's the thing. It's time to give back to someone who's gave this community so much. And I would just really appreciate people coming out and helping her. And I just really wanted to express how much she does for others without being noticed, without saying, hey, look what I'm doing. And so now it's time to get behind her in her time of need, and support her emotionally and positively. So thanks.
Thank you.
If no more communication, then for number 11, for approval is warrant 14-20.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Cho.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 14-20 in the following amounts. General Operating Fund, $63,477.44. Major Street Fund, $20,210.25. Local Street Fund, $13,790.23. Cable, $73.48. Marion Road Special Assessment, $12,713.48. Street lighting is $43,286.24. 911 is $2,603.82. Law enforcement is $592.80. Narcotics Enforcement Fund is $169.95. Water and sewer, $60,428.04. Motor Vehicle Fund is $28,448.11. Technology Services, $4,175.36. Retirees Insurance Benefits, it's $199,074.04. Payroll Fund, $292,939.13, for a grand total of $741,982.37.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Kraut, to pay warrant number 14-20 for $741,982.37. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant number 14-20 will be paid.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned, and thank you.